Show of hands, please. How many of you would like to deliver a wow speech? One that you think is just wow. And everyone goes, wow. You've delivered that speech. Yes? All of you. Fantastic. I'm here to tell you the secret. The secret is getting good at evaluations. That is listening to yourself as well as you listen to other speakers. Watching their body language and then looking at your own body language. Looking at content, and then looking at your own content. A few years ago, I discovered the secret of becoming a good speaker was precisely when I discovered the power of evaluations and how wrong I could be about how I looked at myself. I was invited to be a guest speaker at a competition. So I would give a speech, and then in the competition, I'd be listened to by 6 members of that particular club, and then they were giving me feedback. And I thought I had the best speech ever. It was just perfect. I had delivered the speech at the club, and it had all gone well, and I was feeling really comfortable and calm about this. 6 people got up, 6 different evaluations of my speech. One guy says, I see you use the matrix format in your evaluation there. Matrix format? I have no idea what you're talking about. Another person said, yeah, I could see that you were really concentrating on vocal variety in your speech. Really, was I? And the best, this guy says, your speech was like a sumptuous chocolate cake. I did not mention chocolate cakes at all throughout the whole of that presentation. And it shocked me. And I went back and I thought, if I could be so wrong, if the audience were listening to a different message from the message that I was trying to get across, then I thought I better go back and start to take a look at the basics. And the basics is evaluations. So what's in it for you? When you evaluate, you're giving feedback, but you're also developing your listening skills. How much can you pick up? And if you can pick it up about someone you're listening to, you can do it to yourself, so that you can self-evaluate. You look at a person's body language. Oh, I don't like that person's body language, they're rocking all over the place. Look at yourself. Are you doing the same thing? And I found myself starting to look at the way I spoke. Mannerisms. We all have mannerisms, and you'll go, I don't like that mannerism. Well, by listening to somebody else, by pointing it out to them, you can point it out to yourself. Thus, you start to improve. On a practical level, this is things you can do right now, today, to improve your evaluations. First of all, this young lady at the front here, Lynn, is our VPE. Make sure that you speak to her about taking the opportunity to sign up to do an evaluation at the next meeting. Get yourself on the program. Second, once you're on the program, take a look at the person that you've been assigned to evaluate. Find out who they are, give them a call, or speak to Lynn and she'll put you in touch with them. When you're in touch with them, ask them, what is it that they are trying to achieve? It will give you a better idea of what to listen out for when you're giving your evaluation. Third, we all have this manual here called the Competent Communicator Manual. Do what most people don't do. Read the objectives of the person's speech. Take a look at it. Fourth, or fifth, take a look at the evaluation section within that and start to think about, how can I structure my speech when you're giving your evaluation? Because it's time for you to give your own evaluation. Then think about competitions. When we go into a competition, we have the anonymous evaluator sitting there. They have criteria, they've got a check mark. Well, let's take a look at that. Now, you might not be able to see this as well as I'd like, but nevertheless, what I've done, so I should go back to this right here first. After that, we can just see this a little bit. This is what the judging criteria actually looks like. It's a table like this, and it's basically structured in 3 different areas. We've got close, or check online, or we've got content, delivery, language. And it's broken down into subcomponents. So what I've done is I've taken those components and done this with it. So now we can see that the content has 3 sections to it. And you can do what I was recommended by a brilliant speaker, Bob Ferguson, who recommended that when you're doing an evaluation, it's a mini speech. And you can do commend, commend, recommend, recommend, commend. So you start off your speech by, this is what I liked about the speech, and I like this also. I would recommend, however, and I would also recommend, however. But at the end, I thought it was just totally wonderful, or however it is that you want to do. And then you can take each one of these areas and plug in one word for each. So if you look at effectiveness, how effective was that person? Did they achieve was it of interest to you? Did you find it interesting? Did you feel the audience found it interesting? Yes, no, could improve on something else? Yes, something else. And that's, you start to build up your speech. Second, we can look at delivery. If you're really stuck, you can look at the person's body language. Are they flailing their hands all over the place? Am I speaking too long? And all that type of thing. Are they moving too much and dancing around? Can they stop? Very easy. It's the voice. Is the voice too high, too low, too deep, too shrill? Whatever. You can give them a manner on that. And then the last one, you can look at the language. Grammatically correct English. Or they talking not me like that, out of context with the speech. So you can pick up on that and you can give some feedback. So what I would urge you to do, you want to give a wow speech, yes?
Yeah.
Get good at doing evaluations and you will become a great speaker. Thank you very much.